Now I'm gonna start with petals on that side. And remember, we're gonna have layers of with petals, so we're not going right away to the end of the circle. My first petal is something like that. They have this, something like that. Don't try to make them perfect. They are not also very symmetrical, so don't worry about that. My image is blurry. I'm having a message. This image, this one, this is my drawing. Yeah, because I don't want to press too hard, but okay, I'll press too hard. So this is the petal that I'm drawing. The circle around, it's very light and you don't have to have it. It's just helping. My camera is blurry. Does anybody else see blurry? Fuzzy, okay. Fuzzy. Let's see. Okay. Let's try. Is it better or still?
It's fine.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Next petal is okay. Gonna do this one. So we are going this way up, a little in, and again, kind of a mirror the same image. Okay, next we're gonna do on that side a little smaller and starting to come behind. Next one is gonna go this way, and we're gonna stop a little bit, and we're gonna build 3 more layers like that. 1, 2, 3, and going a little behind. Now we're gonna add this petal behind. Then we're gonna add one more here that it's a little bit more going out than the others. Then behind we're gonna add another one. So again, I'm trying a little bit to simplify. You also can reduce if you want the amount of the petals. So this one is going a little bit inside and around. Next one gonna go behind. We have some of them, those of them that we see in front, they have this cut on the edge. Those ones that are on the side, we kind of don't see that one. Okay. I'm stopping here a little bit, then completing the one that is on top of that. And then I'll add on that side few small ones, a little bit longer and behind. And now I'm gonna erase the circle. Okay, now we're gonna let's do this flower that is on top, and it's look from the side, so it's not going to be a circle, it's going to be an oval, and the center of the flower is going to be moved a little bit down, so somewhere here in the center. Now we're gonna start building again. So on the flower on the top, because it's from the side, few of those petals we see very little, like that. And one on the side. Then under we have a little bit longer ones, two of them. And here we have one very long one, and under also one. Okay, when we go up here, under we see one that it's like more of a heart shape. Then we have one big one that it's in the center here, that it's also a little bit heart shaped on the edge, and it's coming soft to the center. Then we have one behind that it's pretty big comparison to those here down. Next one gonna be on the side with a little cut, and we have something behind that it's kind of the same. So I'm gonna erase here. I'm gonna add few more leaves that are coming under. Sorry, not leaves. And one small one. Next one gonna be this flower that it's on the right side of the branch that you see. I didn't ask, do you see the painting that I'm looking at? So you need to have two.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. So the third one that we're gonna draw gonna be here. It's almost a circle, and it's kind of the same size, maybe a little bit smaller. That's not so important. Again, the center is a little bit, it's in the center, but a little bit up. So now we see from the side, but those are big. The petals are big from that side. The first one is coming like that and going all the way here. It's a long one. Then we have one under that is also kind of a long one and going to the center. I made it a little bit longer, but it's okay. The next one, again going a little bit over this, a little bit over this petal, and this is much more round. And one smaller one in between. Now, behind that one, we have another half one coming with a little bit other edge. And now actually I erase circle. Okay, so we have that one. Under, we have one pretty big one. That. So on the top side, we have one extra, but we see very little from that one. Then we're continuing up. One that is half, and behind another one that is half, and one in between. Then we're gonna add another one, smaller one here. And we're gonna connect those with one here. So I'm gonna add a stem going down. Now the stem, because it's a tree, is pretty thick. So branches are thick. Later we're gonna add, no, now I'm gonna add, there are a few words coming on the branch. That. And I'm gonna fill this space with some leaves. So the leaves, see how are ending very thin and they're long, and the edge is very thin and gentle. One more. So, I think I'm gonna add one block here. So we're gonna draw a circle here. I'm gonna go behind. And this time we're gonna have only part of the petals. So they're gonna go like that and like that. Then between those we're gonna add one. So I'm making them a little bit curvy on the side. Then we're gonna add one more kind of a petal already complete, and one small on the side here. Circle under. Actually, I will have some. Then keep adding one. I'm gonna add one small one here and bigger one under that. On that side, one not too big, but the under will be pretty big, ending the whole up. And behind one, and we can add one extra that it's already opening. Then I will continue the branch down. And from, let's see, for the composition, I will choose to add one small one here on the top. But actually you can add this one anywhere you like. You can add it here, one extra, you can add it here. I'm just choosing to add it. And this one will do like on the picture, you see the down left side, so it's a little bit different than the others. I'm gonna have 4 leaves coming. And then I'm gonna create a circle. This one they draw a little bit more longer, so I'm gonna go like that. Then behind coming the other part, and another one here, and one on the side a little bit. Now very small parts of the petals coming behind. Here, between, and I think that's okay. I'll wait a little bit until you're done before I'm starting. So now, for those who participated in the previous classes, we're not gonna use wet on wet technique. It's gonna be only with dry paper. So are you kind of done with the drawing? Can I continue or wait a little bit?
I'm good.
Good? Ready?
Good.
Okay, good, good. Thank you. Okay. So we're gonna start actually with very light pink and not too much water on the brush. So take a tissue, and if you have too much water on the brush, just take the water out. So I will use a little bit darker color, darker pink, so you can see what I'm doing. But you don't go too much over with the pink. And also,
Would you be able to mix the pink we should use just so we can see it? I know you'll be using a darker one, but just so we can see the shade you suggest.
yes, just a second. I need to erase this a little bit because comparison to the black, the pink will look very pale. So you can do that if you want to. It's damaging a little bit the paper, but when the technique is dry, on dry, it's not a such big deal as when it's on the wet. It's more of a kind of a drawing than the free watercolor.
Could you send the photo of this sketching, please?
Can you say it again?
Could you send the original photo picture of this sketch, please?
It's there. If you see there, if you go through all the windows, there are two steampunk windows. One is my drawing, and the second one is the original that I'm looking
Okay.
at. Okay? Okay. I'm gonna try to. Okay, I'll show you on the side, like something like that, not darker than that. There is another way, like when you use the dark, but in this lesson I don't think I will include it, just I'm gonna mention it. Like you need to be very fast to do it. You can do dark like that, but then you need to take it out a little bit so you don't lose the light. But I think we're gonna go on the other way because it's easier. Okay, so we're gonna start with this flower. So basically it's almost white. Only color that we have is the shadow. So behind every petal, we're gonna add a little bit of shadow. But after each shadow you do with the pink, then you need to do a little bit of kind of softening. with just water. So the second time is just water. So just going one by one, adding shadows. You can add a little bit shadow on the side. So you have to be very consistent with the shadow. So the light comes from one source and you keep doing only one source. And with the water, you can spread a little bit to give it a little bit tone. So again, remember, I'm doing it a little bit darker. You should go a little bit lighter. Then the next one, okay, this one, that one. So the next one, because it's on top, and the light is coming from this way, we're gonna have also a little bit of shadowing here. So those both petals are on top. So because of that, we have two shadows here. Then we're moving to the next one. So light comes from here, adding shadow here, a little bit of water spreading. Next one, again. Also try not to make it like complete straight line. Some of the shadows get a little bit wider when they get to the center. And the smaller leaves on the side, the shadows are thinner. So this one is a big one. I'll do kind of strong shadow. But here, now on those two ones, because the light is coming from this way, so on the top it will be light, but the shadow this time gonna be on that part, because those two leaves here and here are giving a shadow to those that are under. Then the next one, the shadow gonna start moving to the other way. So now this is a big petal. We're gonna give a little bit shading on the whole petal and a little bit down. A little bit too much. Okay. Then the petal behind will have the shadow from the top. And from the top one, this is also on the top, so it will give shadow also here. Even the light is coming from that way, and this side, there are a few, like here, there are few petals on top, so they're going to be two shades. One here, one here. And spreading. Then the next one, the shadows coming behind. And a little bit. Next one. Also. And keep going. One. Now I'm gonna add the center with black. On some spots it's a little bit wet, may spread, but very little about it. And with very we need to take a lot of water and dip it in the black. So I'm looking for kind of a gray color, and then do little lines and hardly see, like going around. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of pink in the big flower, just a little bit in the bottom, and also on all of the petals, just a little bit closer to the center, because it's getting darker there, so we need a little bit one tone darker. And if you see somewhere it's too pale or too strong, you can fix it with adding a little bit more color or trying to reduce it a little bit. And also it depends how dark you want the colors. I'll add a little definition here. And so you don't have to do it, but you can add a little bit of yellow dots. You can see them, but a little yellow dots around. Trying to make it close. Okay, so I'm moving to the next one. This one. Again, the technique is exactly the same. And I'm doing a little bit darker in the picture, starting from bottom. Okay. And those ones, we're gonna add a little around, but try not to leave it like a line. Try to spread it. But keep the light inside. Keep them white in the center. So we go around. And water. Spreading. And shading under. And then okay. So if you don't want to have white flowers, actually you can do them all pink. But because I'm following what I see there, so that's why I'm doing that. You will put it and keep going. Shadow. And then this one, actually I'll leave almost white. Just gonna give a little bit shadow here in close to the center. Next. Then later we're gonna do the black inside. Shade in the center. Another one behind. Shadow. Spreading. Two more left. And black center. Mine is too wet, so I wait a little bit. Until I'm waiting, I'll do the stem branch. I'll mix a little bit of black and a little bit of green. And I'll give the first layer. I'll let it dry and between, I'll do the leaves. So the leaves are actually pretty flat, just filling. You can make them a little bit different colors. And if you use the same color, you can leave just a little white space in between the leaves. See that? But just a bit. So there is some separation in between. And and now let's try. I'm gonna add again it's the same of the flowers, adding darker and then spreading it with water. And a little shadow also on the okay. Now I'm gonna add the dark here, so it's not gonna be circle, it's just part of that. And let's do the other one on the top. It's because they have a background, so they actually add just a little bit of color in the center and here. But we're not gonna have time for background, so we're gonna do a little bit kind of a light drawing here and spread it. Then a little bit and spread it. And again, I'm making it too dark. And another one, shadow. So those three small ones, we're gonna leave white. And they're gonna be seen because we're gonna have under a shadow, pink shadow, so they will.
This brush is number 3 or 4.
It's 3.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna add a little bit here. Again, it's too dark. You don't have to have it so dark. in between shadow. This leaf is behind and deep, so we're gonna do all shadow. On the side, all those are white, just a little shadow, like going over the pencil. And then those that are under, we're gonna make them a bit more dark, not completely. Now, still a little bit wet. And black, not full circle because it's from the side. And now with very thin yellow, I'm gonna add little lines that I don't think you can see, not much. And because it's wet, they kind of spread. But you can add little dark lines when it's dry. Now it's too early. So I'm gonna move to that loop. And now we're gonna do only like this part gonna be all pink and the kind gonna be pink, but now we're gonna have not shadow, actually the leaf, the petal will be a little bit darker on the top. And you can add little lines. Adding on. So it's a little dark, you can go again and define a little bit more where the pencil. And this one also, same technique. I'm gonna go a little bit that and spreading it. painting lines going over the pencil. And leaves the pencil. Now, almost dry. I'm gonna add few black lines here. I don't know if they have those, but I'll add a few. And make those a little bit dark. There is option to add a little pink here instead of the pencil, or you can leave the pencil. You can keep adding layers. Color more. I'm gonna add a little bit of shadow again. Oh, And that's it. Now, if you want to show and you want to ask questions, you want to share,